Greetings escapers! In this Escape from Tarkov guide for beginners, I will give you tips about playing the game after the wipe. So far I have few wipes under my belt, and with my playstyle I never encountered roadblocks to hinder my progress, so I hope this guide will help you too. I will go over what are my priorities at wipe start, how I farm money, what guns I use, and I will give you some general tips and things to have in mind while you play. The most important task in early game is increasing loyalty level of your traders. With higher level vendors, you will have option to buy better guns, more efficient meds, better ammo and armor. You also will be able to buy some containers, and I will advise to get documents case or key tool as fast as possible. In case you're a standard edition owner, I would also suggest to get Lucky Scuff junk box early on, so you will be able to rely more on barter items and store some quest items for later. There are three important factors when it comes to increasing loyalty levels of vendors: your character level, reputation, and money spent. Two of those factors, XP and reputation, you will gain naturally when you do quests, and that should be your main focus early on. You will also receive experience while playing by looting, examining items, and killing scuffs and other PMCs. Successful extraction will give you 50% bonus experience for all the tasks you did in raid, so it's worth trying to survive as much as you can. To fulfill the last requirement for leveling traders, you will have to buy and sell items to them. I will talk a little about it in the next segment. If you wonder who you should level up first, the answer is it all depends. In short summary, Therapist will give you access to better meds and early documents case barter. For better ammo, that includes armor piercing rounds, you should level up Prapor. Skir is mixed bag, he has some useful mods and some ammo. Leveling him up is also required if you want to get higher loyalty levels of Peacekeeper, trader for western weapons and gear. At lower levels, he will give you access to some early game armors. At higher levels, you will be able to buy from him beta secure container. Ragman will open up your armor, helmet and chest rig choices, so he is also worth leveling fast. Since patch point 12 will rebalance some gear on traders, keep an eye on guides and information about them in case something seriously changed. The next thing you should focus on early game is getting your keys. This will open up for you some looting places on maps. The best advice I have for you is searching filing cabinets and also backpacks and pockets of scarves. Maybe with point 12 changes, it will also be worth checking jackets and sport bags for them. No matter what, you should probably check every container, as they can spawn some rare items that may be needed for good barters or even some quests. You should also check guides about key spawns on maps, so you can check those places when you play the game and do quests. One example of very good key to find is Mark Room Key. You can find key tool there, for instance, but also other containers and good weapons. Also make sure to look on the floor for loose cash. Good utility key you can find is Factory Key. It will let you use shortcut near gas station on customs, and also you will have 2 more extraction points on Factory, so you can avoid potential campers on the map. Other than that, most of the shoreline keys will also open up good loot spots, so make sure to check them out. If you get lucky and you will find lab keycard, make sure to check the price on the flea market. If it's very high, it may be better idea to just sell it instead of going yourself and risk dying, especially if you are very new to the game. Reminder here, insurances don't work on lab map. We don't know much about hideouts yet, but some upgrades looks like a great thing to get early on. Ammo making station and medical station looks like something you may want to prioritize to get the long-term benefits. Higher stash will be something you will want for sure, all depends on the cost of the upgrades. It may be something to rush and ignore containers, or other way around. Evaluate and go with what makes the most sense. Okay, so now let's talk about money management. First thing, you should not sell items to fans. He gives the lowest cash for everything. You should only sell to him items that no other vendor wants to buy. Second thing, sell specific types of items to specific traders. Right now, the way to go is selling to therapists first. She buys valuable stuff, electronics, food and meds. Then you should disassemble completely guns and sell individual weapon parts to Skier. He will also pay the most for armors and clothes. Everything else should be sold to mechanic or peacekeeper depending on the currency you need. Bear in mind that early in the game you will have to fulfill money spent on traders to level up them, so don't worry about potential value loss when selling to not optimal trader. The next thing is saving cash when you can. Good idea is to keep meds in your secure container so you don't have to rebuy them every time you die. This will change with persistent health system, but still should net you some cash in the long run. Second thing is just going with basic gear. Gun should be all you need early on, and maybe scav vest to hold a spare magazine. You can loot backpack, better chest rig and maybe even armor in the raid from scavs. When you feel confident or just want to go with gear, make sure to go with full loadout to increase your survival chance and maximize looting opportunities. To help you with gear acquisition, make sure to check early game barters. If nothing has changed, Prapor should have barter for AK-74N for 2 Blackrock chest rigs. The next good one is HDD trade for MBSS backpack at Peacekeeper, or 2 dog tags for same backpack at Ragman. He should also have Paka soft armor trade for 5 lower half masks. If those trades are not there after a new patch, don't worry. Just check out available barters and go with what looks reasonable. The next tip may be a little tricky to apply and you should just see how it will work for you. It's about using your scav. Most people focus on PMC runs early game to get character level fast, but truth is, this may not work for you and you should not be afraid to use your scav when needed. It's a great way to earn cash and it's often a free loadout for your next PMC run. It's also more chilling gameplay in my opinion, so it gives you a break between your main PMC raids. Scav runs are also great for gathering quest items, especially on interchange. The last tip is about selling items on the flea market. Before selling anything to vendors, it's always a good idea to check flea market prices. You may sometimes get a lot of more value this way. If you can complete some quests very fast and you will unlock new items needed for earlier tasks, it's a really good idea to buy them from vendor and then sell it on the flea market. One example of this is Salua medkit on Therapist. There are also quest items that you can only get in raid and are required for some tasks. One great example of this is secure flash drive. You should check front side of every PC you encounter on your way. USB drive may be plugged in on front panel of the computer. If you want to focus on this specific item, you will find plenty computers on interchange. Other good spot is also blue van on customs. There is also spawn point on the ground next to Sportback in camping spot on customs. One can also be found in front of tent on camping spot on woods. Now let's talk a little about weapons. At the beginning, when nobody is running high tier armor, SMGs like MP5 or Kedr are very effective. They have good recoil and will shred targets fast. If you like factory, you can also go there with shotguns for some nasty kills. Pistols are always ultra budget option, but make sure to aim for the face in case somebody is wearing helmet. When wipe progresses more and more, people will start using armor. The best ammo in that case will be PS762 cartridge paired with SKS or Vapor KM guns. Then there is my favorite budget gun in the game, the Vapor Hunter with M80 round. It's a great gun that can easily one-shot through chest, even if your target is protected with mid-level armor. Mosin will also be great for some one-shots with LPS GZH rounds. From other guns, all 545 AKs are great weapons to use. They can be utilized as marksman rifles or assault guns. With good armor-piercing rounds from Prapor, they stay relevant even in the late game. When using them early game, make sure to go for precise shots using semi-auto mode and go for full auto only in very close engagements, because unmodded AK will kick like a mule. So the first one is simple. Make sure you redeem your Christmas gift if you bought the game before the end of last year. You will get 2 ammo cases, item case, key tool and M1A gun with some ammo. Sell the gun and keep the rest if you are standard edition owner. In other case you can sell everything and just keep key tool. Second big thing is to remember to insure your items. While it may seem like not a good idea because everyone will be picking everything early on, it will be still beneficial to you in the long run. You may die a lot to scavs early game without armor, and chances nobody will pick up your gear if you die in a bush or not often traversed place. Even partial returns will save you some money. It's always cheaper to insure item than to buy a new one from vendor. Next advice I have for you guys is not to get tricked by some streamers' gameplay. Most of them are playing this game for a very long time now and know how to navigate the maps. They are also entertainers, so they will not come bush for 10 minutes. There is no shame in playing slow, taking your time to think about positioning yourself and what to do next. Don't get too much scared too. Early game is where you will have the most balance and fun fights. One word about quests. You don't have to rush for quest items, they spawn for everybody on the map. You have also remember there is partial quest completion, so you may turn items one by one. Last thing is just a reminder that this patch will have a lot of new stuff and everybody will have to learn the best ways to utilize the game. So there is always opportunity for finding some things that can put you a little ahead. Don't hesitate to use them unless it's a bug or a glitch. That's all I have for you guys. I hope it was helpful and will prepare you for new wipe. There are still some unknown factors about the patch, but I think you should fill in the blanks as you go. Best of luck and see you in raids.